NSFAS is currently not working. It is a mess. The system, the funding model is bloated, and this is why the Democratic Alliance has today tabled an alternative solution that will ensure that we have a tiered funding model to ensure that we have more poor students that are able to get funding in a way that has partnership with the private sector to ensure that we have more loans, cheaper loans that can be paid off, but also more funding for the missing middle. We also want to ensure that the accommodation crisis across campuses is dealt with by scrapping the accommodation cap, because geographical property rates are different per institution. But ultimately, we have a solution in place that the government can copy and paste now and fix the crisis.
Today, we're tackling a critical issue that affects thousands of students across South Africa. NSFAS, the National Student Financial Aid Scheme. Should it be scrapped or re-engineered or reimagined? We'll be examining a recent proposal by the Democratic Alliance DA that suggests re-engineering NSFAS for better efficiency and sustainability. Hello everyone and welcome back to FinEd, your favorite financial education channel. Before we dive into this topic, please hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you can stay updated with our latest financial education content. We drop videos every Friday at midnight, so you have something to watch from us on your weekends. Now, let's get started. The proposal sets a stage and helps us look at the current state of NSFAS. Over the past decade, there has been a significant increase in student enrollment in public higher education institutions. From 2010 to 2021, the number of students grew by 19.6%, reaching over 1 million. Concurrently, the number of students benefiting from NSFAS financial aid increased by 252% from about 191,000 in 2010 to over 673,000 in 2019. This surge in numbers has created an immense demand for affordable and quality student accommodation, a challenge that traditional accommodation models struggle to meet. Despite the government setting aside substantial funds to support higher education, the increasing number of students and administrative complexities have led to a significant regression in NSFAS's financial service delivery performance. The DA's position paper highlights several key issues with the current NSFAS model. The NSFAS funding model is unsustainable as it doesn't require students to pay back funds, leading to poor fiscal management and corruption. NSFAS experienced 5 billion rand in irregular expenditure in the 2019-2020 year alone. Centralized operations lead to delays in funding decisions and payouts, affecting students' ability to register on time and secure accommodation. There is a severe shortage of student housing with a shortfall of 500,000 beds. Government programs aimed at increasing beds, like the Student Housing Infrastructure Program, lack transparency and efficient maintenance. There is a lack of up-to-date and accurate data on the number of available beds and the actual demand for student accommodation. There have been allegations of profiteering and price collusion among student accommodation providers, exacerbated by the unregulated nature of student accommodation costs. The introduction of a blanket accommodation cap of 45,000 rand has excluded many students from finding affordable housing, leading to evictions and further financial stress. The DA proposes a comprehensive reform of the NSFAS funding model to address these issues. Here are some key points from their proposal. Implementing a tiered system for loans and grants focused on supporting students from low-income households. This includes proportional assistance for the missing middle who can afford to pay a portion of their expenses. introducing flexible repayment conditions where loan repayment is only obligatory once the recipient secures a well-paying job. This ensures affordability and considers personal circumstances. Enhancing access to student funding through partnerships with banks and private sector scholarships, offering more financial options and potentially reduced interest rates on loans. Establishing a robust debt collection system in collaboration with the South African Revenue Service and the Credit Bureau to combat student loan non-payment and ensure resources are reintegrated into the system. Moving administrative functions to individual institutions to prevent administrative backlogs and funding delays. Lastly, revising the accommodation cap to reflect market-related costs and considering a grading system to guide rental fee administration. Many have raised valid counter-arguments to the DA's proposals for reforming NSFAS. These points highlight potential drawbacks and challenges that could arise from implementing the DA's proposed reforms to the NSFAS funding model. Let's take a look at a few. Implementing a tiered system where some students receive loans instead of grants could burden already struggling families. These loans would need to be repaid eventually, adding to financial stress. While delaying loan repayments until after securing a job might seem helpful, it could lead to longer-term financial strain. Interest could accumulate over time, making repayment more difficult once employment is secured. Collaborating with banks for student loans might mean lower interest rates initially, but it could expose students to potential exploitation if interest rates increase later or if repayment terms become less favorable. Establishing a stricter debt collection system with the Revenue Service and the Credit Bureau might ensure loan repayments, but it could also harm students who struggle to find stable employment after graduation. Decentralizing administrative functions to individual institutions could lead to inconsistencies and delays in funding distribution. It might also create confusion for students navigating different systems across various universities and colleges. Lastly, adjusting the accommodation cap to reflect market-related costs might inadvertently increase financial barriers for students from lower income backgrounds who already struggle with housing affordability. So, should NSFAS be scrapped or re-engineered? The DA's proposal makes a strong case for re-engineering to create a more sustainable and efficient system that better serves South African students. The counter-arguments to these reforms are also very valid and should be considered. But I'm more interested in what you think. I love reading your opinions, so let us know in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more financial education content. Thanks for watching.